G'day guys, what I'm going to do is show you a small video on how you take the front of the dash off so you can get to the back of your RCD 510, and all the little things that I've found along the way that make it a little bit easier. First off, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the cup holder. As you can see here, just grab hold of it, give it a good twist like that, and it'll come off, exposing little screws at the back there. On this side, you simply pull that lug off. I've got a phone kit attached to it, but usually it's just that blanking plug there. You just get your fingernails in behind it, give it a good pull. Again, exposing little screws to take off. Next thing we're going to take off is this front utility compartment, I think you would call it, and I'll reset the camera and I'll show you how I do that. Okay. As I said, the next thing we're going to do is remove this little compartment here, or tray. All you do is on the front edge here, get your fingernails underneath, get a good grip with your fingers, and simply lift the front up until you hear it clicking. Keep going till it all comes up like that, and then you pull it out towards the front of the car like that. You can see here it's got little tangs here that recess into the front, and these little tabs here that position inside the moulding of the car here to hold that tray in. To remove the plug here for the cigarette lighter, simply push on the tab, you can pull it out, put that to the side, and it should simply disconnect like that. You grab that, put it out of the way. Okay, and next thing we're going to do is remove the screws. Now I've already pointed out the ones that are down here. There's two there, and again two on the other side in there. You can have a good look, nice and close. And then from the tray that I just removed up in here, there's two screws in there, one there and one there. So we're simply going to remove those, and I'll do that now. You'll actually find that they're Torx screws. There's a Torx screwdriver there, you can see, and you just simply put it in. Typical screw, just unscrew it, nice and easy. There's one. There's the other. Try not to drop it down inside the guts of the car, as we always do. Two screws, and you'll actually find that most of the screws, these are the ones from the front of the fascia where the cup holders go, they're the same size, so it doesn't matter if you mix them up. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the plugs that you can see here that are for the hazard lights, which is that one there, and then for the rear work light, which is that one there. Now if you take this fascia off before undoing those, there's not enough cable length for you to actually get your hands in there, so I'll show you how to do that now. Just a small tip screwdriver, you can see there. I'll do this one first, the red one. Simply stick that prong right into there to undo the clip. Get a good hold and give it a nice little nudge, and it'll come straight out like that. I'll do the other one. Simply push it in there, give it a good pull, and it comes out. Now it can come, this front fascia can come clear without any restriction with these cables. You'll find if you leave those on, you could quite possibly actually damage your switches. As you can see here, nice little workman at my local dealership did when obviously they were trying to fit my Bluetooth kit. But I don't use that because I've got a rear canopy on, so I'm not really worried about it. It sits there nice and flush anyway, so we'll continue. Goes there's the tangs you need to be released from the top of the car. There's two here, one here and one here, and two in the front. One here, one here. A nice easy way to do it is these little tangs you can see here, I'll zoom in there, need to go up. So you simply put that in there like that, give it a bit of a twist, and that actually gets it out of its little indentation, and I'll just balance that there, and hopefully this should come out like that. The other side should come out relatively easy now, like that. And then you can see there how it's all come out. And then I just need to do the front. So I just get a good grip around here, underneath, and there we go. There's the fascia out, and that's what it looks like. You can see the little spots here where the tabs grabbed hold of. One there, one there, one there, and one there. Sounds quite brutal, but it's just the tabs releasing, and I've taken it out about 6 times and I haven't broken anything yet. Fingers crossed. Alright, on to the next bit. Okay, next thing to get the stereo out, there's simply 4 screws, same torque screws as before. One there, and 2 on the other side. And you undo that and the whole unit should come out quite easily. Now, I'll just try and see if I can position this so you can watch me do it. Okay, camera's nice and secure there. Got my torque screwdriver. Stick it in there and just undo it. Now these are a little, they're a different size than the ones that were in the dash, so don't mix those up. Another point, and something that I've learnt since I've been doing this, is supposedly each unit is actually coded to the car. So if you're going to do anything with the electronics or anything with the stereo, whereas before I've actually put in a phone kit, a Bluetooth kit, which is actually in there. I disconnected the battery so that I didn't cause any problems, connected it all up and connected the battery back up, turned it back on, and the system resynced, because apparently it knows that this is its stereo. So I just need to remove one more screw and then I can show you how the stereo slides out. Okay, that's the 4 screws out. Grab hold of the unit, give it a good pull, and it just slides out nice and easy. Grab hold of the wires so I can give it a good pull. Disconnect that plug there, which I think is the antenna. And there you go. There's the unit in your hands. And you can see the back of my unit. That's the plug that I needed to get to, which is this one. Let's put it closer. Is hopefully going to work, which is my reverse camera. So fingers crossed. You can actually see here the Bluetooth kit plug here, which I've got there, which is in there. You can see wrapped in bubble wrap, and that's the bit that came with it, the bypass arrangement for the wires and everything, and that works really well. And alright, on to the next bit. Okay, next thing I'm doing is this is the plug for the reverse camera that I bought, and I'm simply going to plug that in. So it should be fairly straightforward. Into the mustard little slot there, you can see the tongues and grooves and everything all line up. Stick that in there. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. Stick it in there, grab this lever, and it should lock it into place. That's it there, that's locked in. That's not going anywhere. And then I simply do the reverse procedure, putting it all back in. And fingers crossed that the stereo doesn't need coding. It probably will, knowing my luck, but we'll see how we go. So I'm just going to put it back in. Okay, putting it back in, just the reverse order. There's the antenna plug. That's it. We're going to push the rest of that cord back down in there, and I'll actually grab it from underneath and cable tie it so it's nice and secure. There's actually a bit of room there. Grabbing hold of that plug there. Again, just slotting it in. The good thing about it all is that only goes in one way. So that one goes in there. Click into place. Cable's out of the way. And slide it back in. Straight back into its slot. Like that. Grabbing all of the screws, 4 screws as we said before. 3, 4. Using a torque screwdriver, screwing it back in. It's I reckon one of the easiest spaces around a stereo that I've ever worked on. There's a fair amount of room back there, and as I showed you before, my Bluetooth module is actually down there, which is what most of you guys are doing anyway. So now the rest of the fascia, putting the fascia back on and everything, is a lot easier than taking off, but it's just the reverse order. Once the stereo's in, just final tweak of those screws, making sure they're all secure, otherwise you'll get rattles. That's nice and secure there. I'll get the fascia. Which is there, there's the fascia there. Simply slot that in there. There's little tangs down the bottom here. I want to see if you can get those in first. So it comes in underneath, like that. And you can see pretty well rebates itself nicely. Once I've got it there, I'm going to hit it here and here. That slots in there. The front tangs are in the right position. I'm just going to give that a nudge. 1, 2. Put the 2 screws in the top. Put the 4 screws back in here. Don't forget to actually put the plate on as well. This is for the cup holders and everything. There, making sure that it's straight. That one's actually upside down. Now forgive me if the batteries go flat on this thing. I didn't charge it up before I used it, so it's upside down. There we go. And I like to put the 2 screws into these a little bit loose to start off with, and then I actually put the cup holder on and adjust it so that it's level. Not on this side, but on this side obviously, because the cup holders don't go on this side. This one you can tighten up, but just so that the cup holder is actually level. That's that done up. Here's the other one. Mind my clumsy fingers. So I'm just very lightly doing those up, so I can still actually rotate it. I'll get the cup holder. Sure it sits level. There it is there, holding onto the frame again as I untwist it, and then screwing it into place into that position. Hold of the screwdriver there. There you go, nice and level. And then the final 2 screws for the top up here at the front. One there and one there. Actually found on my fascia underneath here, so obviously in the factory they do a rattle check, but they've stuck a couple of bits of folded paper underneath the some of the clips. Obviously the plastic on plastic was rattling, so they stuck something underneath there, so I've left those in place. And if you get a rattle, it's probably where it's from. So all I did is they folded up a bit of paper a couple of times and stuck it underneath. And I'll actually show you that so you know what I'm talking about. With me. You can see it in there, a bit of paper there. So there wasn't one on the other side, but there was on that side, so I'm going to leave it in there so I don't get it out. Okay, once I've got that, simply put the clips back in. So these two, they just slot back in. A little bit of pressure on the front there to hold the plug in as you do it. 1, 2, and last thing obviously is the tray that goes back in the top. Again, it'll only go one way. So slotting it in, round side that way, clips into place, putting it down into the slot there, rebutting the front, as you can see there, in there first. Right. That. And then, just bear with me once I get the wires in the right spot. Simply giving it a loving tap. Bear with me, I haven't got this in the right spot. That's it. That's all in. No damage. All in. Fascia's nice and flat all the way around here. It's nice and tight. And that's how you do it. Hopefully it'll help some of you. Don't be too afraid about getting this fascia off. It's a little bit of force, and once you get it off, you actually see that's pretty hard to damage. See you next time. See you guys. Okay, something else I'm going to show you is the interface plugs that we've all been talking about on the internet, and I'll show you where they are. So here's my pedal quadrant. You can see down there, these are the cables for my reverse camera, which I'm going to run directly to the interface plugs. So just bear with me as I go in here, turn my torch on, and I'll show you. So there's my clutch pedal, and you go up, and there they are right there. So you can see them, they're wrapped in cloth tape. So that's the purple one, and in there as well are other ones. So what I'll do now is I'll unwrap all of that so you can have a proper look. Okay, so I've managed to pull the tape off, and you can see there the two plugs. Just bear with me, I'm trying to do this with one hand. If I turn it like that, you can actually see the interface plugs there. They're pretty similar, but different size blade plugs on the inside, and the actual design of the actual plug in here, they're different. So one plug will only fit into one of these, so you shouldn't be able to mix it up too much. There is another one in here, but I haven't taken it out, so I just thought they're the closest ones that I could give you a look at. And I think from memory, this one here, the purple one, is the one that I'm going to be plugging into. Thanks to Pete, who sent me the plug, and I'll plug it in and we'll see if my reverse camera works. Fingers crossed. There's the other side to the plug there. You can see that one, so you can see it's got 4 larger plugs around the outside and 6 smaller ones on the inside. So as I said, it's the purple one that's in there, so I'm going to plug that straight into it. Fingers crossed.